guess I consider my highlights of my career anything that I worked on in terms of programs and projects that resulted in a fielding, something that went out to the field, that was used by the troops and had some, effectiveness in terms of the force being able to accomplish their mission. I guess the fondest memories are just people, the people that I worked with, worked with, some really fabulous folks, really high quality people, general officers who were very, very good leaders and role models, and it's hard to describe. You come to, when you're in the work with the Army for long enough, you come to understand just how good the officer corps is, how good the enlisted corps is, just how smart they are, how capable they are, and how good they are, in terms of their compassion and just general good people kind of thing. I had the good fortune to work on some SDIO programs up at Picatinny Arsenals, Strategic Defense Initiative programs. And one of the things that you learned up there, and it actually trickled down to the Army, and I encountered it, you still encounter it today, was the idea of executing. Years ago, many years ago, money was allocated for programs, and whether you spent it this year, next year, or 20 years from now, nobody really cared, okay? Well, that changed dramatically when SDIO came to be, because a large amount of money was being invested in a very difficult problem, and it had to be accounted for, right? And so there was people who accounted for it, and money was not allocated whenever you get around to it. It was allocated this year and maybe next year, and that was, and then yearly thereafter. And so you had to account for that execution. And so I learned that very well in the SDIO realm, trying to retain money for the Army's interests. And so it served me well when I came to PEO and IWNS, because by then the services were doing that. They were very, very execution focused, and so I knew how to do that. It was it's a unique talent because of my situation. The Army has a lot of opportunity for folks in terms of the diversity of products that they deal with, and here Aberdeen's a good example. You've got medical people, you've got ordnance folks, you've got command and control communications, C5 folks here. There's a diversity of efforts in the Army that's unique to the Army. Other services, a little bit more specialized, in my view, in certain areas, but here in the Army, there certainly are very specialized areas, but there's certainly a large breadth of them. So if you're a chemical engineer or a chemist, you can find something of great interest to you. If you're an electrical engineer, you've got a large number of things that you could find of great interest to you. If you're a computer guy, that's another huge field. And there's many more of those specialties that the Army, the medical guys are here, that kind of thing. There's a large opportunity to see the full spectrum of science and not only science, but manufacturing, and the engineering end of it, delivering it to the field, making it work. That's a very unique thing within the Army, I think, and careers in the Army acquisition business, if you will, and the scientists in the acquisition business, engineers in the acquisition business. It's a unique place to be because you really get a really good piece of the action, if you will, in terms of challenges and program opportunity and difficulties that, it's not simple to solve some of these problems. And sometimes you don't solve them, right? You resolve them to a point where you can, address them, and then you're better than you were when you couldn't even, go after them at all. So I think that's the real glory. It's not the wealthiest place. It's not the most lucrative in terms of financial reward, although it's not bad. I mean, it's certainly, you can live a good life as a careerist in the Army, but there's more to it than that, right? I think there's a lot more to it than that, and I've had the opportunity to engage with warfighters, with real soldiers in real situations, and that's very, very rewarding, because they have a mission, they know what it is, it's to protect you and I and the country, and they go about it very well, and it's a pleasure to support them, frankly.